to
Thank you.
the, yeah, thank you for coming on. Um, the whole point of what I'm doing is trying to create a space where, even though cancer is something that everybody has to face in every country across the world, I'm finding that there are different cultural reactions to it, there are different societal behaviors, there are different perceptions and different treatments.
Okay.
So, by putting as many perspectives and experiences out there, hopefully we can not only build a bridge between the I call it the cancer community, but it's more like a country than anything else, and the rest of the world in a way where we can learn to talk to each other.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
within the cancer community itself, we can talk to each other because we all sit behind closed doors. We're all like a country made up of different regions. You've kind of got the survivors and you've got like my son's in the incurable region, and then you've got, so you've got different,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's supposed to make sense. Everyone likes to be put into a segment, don't they? I suppose it's the way we deal with things, I suppose.
Yeah. And rather than pigeonholing and kind of labeling and boxing, we can potentially find ways of helping each other. Like I've spoken to some people in Uganda, I've spoken to some people in the States, and the perceptions are totally different. And the reason why I reached out to you was because I know that you work really hard at trying to remove stigma.
Try my best.
You do it really well. I really like it. It's like
Okay.
that my son's a full left leg amputee, and
Yeah.
people will they'll look and you'll see them look for the left leg. And you're like, you can look all you like, it's not going to grow
Yeah, it's
back.
not
It's not,
there.
it's
Yeah.
gone. It's gone. It's not there.
Yeah.
But you can see their brains trying to work it out.
Yeah.
And that puts him in a box. And whilst he accepts that box, you work really hard to go, well, actually, no, I'm a person first.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
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 And like the little how your daughter decorates.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
But what was the hardest part of what has been the hardest part of your journey so far?
Uh, I suppose the hardest part was right at the beginning, being told, having it confirmed it was cancer, because at that point then it's yeah, it was strange. It was more of a right, okay, now I've got cancer. I know I've got to go through some treatment, but it's all the unknowns. You don't know how your body's going to react to treatment. You don't know. It's all unknown. Whereas some things you think you can have a guess of how you're going to feel. Like, oh, I got a chest infection, which I think I have at the moment. I got an appointment at 2:15 to go and see somebody for some
Oh,
tablets.
okay.
Uh, so yeah, yesterday I was in bed all day. So yeah, today's a good day. But yeah, it's just the unknowns. You're like, right, how am I going to react? What is this stuff they're going to put into me? Like day one of cancer treatment was 8:30, having a PICC line put in my arm, having a couple of chest X-rays, because the first one confirmed it didn't go where it was meant to go, which was down. Once it goes up, it went up my neck.
Oh,
So they had to
right.
pull it back out and push it back in again.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, yeah, lovely. So
Yeah,
but
lovely.
at every stage where something kind of went wrong or did go wrong,
Yeah.
I kind of found the funny side of it. Kind of like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm glad you said about the we have to use humor.
You've got
We
to,
have we
because
have to.
if you don't use humor, you're just going to cry. And the way I think about it is, if you get in that negative spiral, it's even worse. It exacerbates. I
Yeah.
can't say the word. It just makes your issues so much far worse because it's just a
Yeah.
massive circle, and you just can't get out of it. So yeah, I use humor quite a lot.
Yeah, no, we do. So January is the third anniversary. It's weird. There are anniversaries now that I don't want
Yeah.
to celebrate, but they still pop in there. They're still there. So
Yeah.
January is the third anniversary of him only having one leg.
Okay.
We still call him the one-legged wonder. We still make one-leg jokes. Like the fact that one of his favorite people in the whole world is Captain Jack Sparrow is absolutely hilarious. It's like the fact one-legged kid loves a pirate. I love it. But yeah, you
Yeah.
have to inappropriate humor. You have to.
You
It's like
got to.
it's
Got
a
to.
mind game. You have to keep yourself in tip top.
Yeah.
Um, but how did the people around you deal with it? I know that not everybody that said that they would be there for us have been there for us. You
Yeah,
know,
that's very true. Very true. Some close family members basically, yeah, they just disappeared until I was messaging them, or when I put a post up saying, "Oh, I finished chemo now, I'm feeling great," and they're like, "Oh, brilliant." So like certain people completely disappeared,
mm,
but then other people from who I haven't spoken to for 20 odd years, back from high school, and they were like, "Oh, Phil, my mum and dad went through that when I was in high school with you," and yeah, so people from years ago got back in touch with me, whereas people who I was really close to, yeah, some just disappeared. But I just put that down to, in my own head, maybe they don't know what to say. So
yeah,
maybe saying nothing is better than saying something.
yeah. So I always find so. Um, I wrote a book off the back of our journey because of the fact that when you hear cancer, you don't know. So I wrote it into almost like chapters based on the journeys of diagnosis and breaking the news and all that kind of jazz. One of them is going outside of the cancer bubble and telling other people. And I think you get three different types of people. You get the ones that say, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I usually say, unless the cure is sitting in whatever you're going to say to me next, there isn't anything you can
yeah,
say. Then you've got the ones that take the long way round and hope you pick up. Someone has genuinely said to me, I don't know what to say to you, but I do send you good vibes and I hope you pick up on them. I mean, like
yeah,
I'm not an antenna. I mean, I'd love to be able to pick up FM radio. I can't. So
yeah,
thanks. But okay, so they take the long way round because they'd rather not
yeah.
deal with it. And then you get the ones that have been there. They don't even have to know you. They just kind of almost come
No,
out of the woodwork. Like that's why I've got the Avengers in the background. It's like they come out of nowhere, like something out of
yeah,
Endgame. They don't need to know you because they get it.
no,
They get how hard it is and how unpredictable it
yeah,
is. And that's I almost describe it. I know everything that I do so far is named after a storm because that's how it feels. It comes in, it changes the landscape, it doesn't give you any warning, and it can
no,
come back at any moment, you know?
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Um,
some of my friends during, I think I was still having chemo at the time. I think it was on round two, round three, and the Six Nations were starting. And they were like, "Oh, Phil, do you want to come out for a pint?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So we were going down Weatherspoons watching a game. I'd have a couple of pints with him, then I'd come home and then I'd just crash out because I was so fatigued.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
mad. But yeah, but things like that I was looking forward to. It was great. It was just getting out the house, seeing something different.
yeah. Like I've got one particular friend, and um, thanks to her, I still know who I am. Because even though I'm not the one that has cancer, it's taken everybody's identity in the family. Like it's taken like who he is and who I am and who his siblings are. I don't think people talk about
It
that
definitely
very much.
changes you. It's definitely changed my outlook on life. I used to be more of a, right, we're not doing anything, we're saving money. And
Mm.
now I'm more, I use, yeah, obviously, I don't think we're allowed to swear on this, but it's the FIBI. So it's the sod it, book it, or sod it, buy it. Because it's
Yeah,
like, memories. Let's make memories. Money is temporary. It's there 1 minute, gone the next. Memories are
Yeah.
there forever. So it's like, right, whatever we can do, we're going to do things together because you can remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and it's smaller things. So like my my son is from my previous marriage. So my ex-husband does all the grand gestures, so he takes him to football matches, or he's been the mascot for the Sale Sharks.
Oh, nice.
So he doesn't watch rugby. That's what makes me laugh. He doesn't watch rugby, but he's been a mascot. Um, but me, it's we've got a stupid film on. We've watched Spaceballs and we've made
What a
burgers.
film.
I
What a
know.
film.
I know we went, I found the perfect film for us. Now I'm a massive fan of Airplane. I love all
Oh, yeah.
stupid movies. I
Don't call me
love.
Shirley.
Yeah, don't call me
Yeah,
Shirley.
don't call me Shirley.
Um, and so it's that is going to be a core memory for me. It's
Yeah,
the
it's good.
little things,
Yeah,
I think.
no,
But
definitely.
how has cancer kind of and your journey kind of impacted your local community, not just the family, but kind of like wider, it used to affect me on the schoolroom because everyone would kind of, well,
Yeah, I think,
yeah.
I don't know. I think school runs I didn't really do. I think some people came up to me and said, "Oh, how are you now? How are you feeling?" They
Mm,
must have known someone was up with me. It was like springtime. I'm in my dry robe, looking white as a sheet because obviously the chemo takes all your
yeah.
color
Yeah,
away.
it takes everything
They're
from
like,
you.
it's
Yeah.
nice, it's nice to see you out. So yeah, I did get some random people coming up to me saying, "Oh, well done. How are you?" Obviously, the mums and dads who are close, where our kids all play together and stuff, and they're like, "How are you now?" Some do ask questions, and it's the same thing again. It's they they want to say more, I think, but they're probably too scared in case they say the wrong thing.
I think that's what it is. It's just that communication barrier, how people
Yeah.
don't. We, so people that have been on a cancer journey and their families think that the rest of the world only responds to pity, which there is truth in. There was a study done by charities about how they pitched to the public, and they switched it from pity to empowerment, and the amount of donations dropped, which is interesting. And then the rest of the world think that's the only language we talk, which is why we're here. I mean, you try and spread your own messages. So what kind of inspired you to, what not inspired you, but what drove you towards going on social media and sharing what you shared? Because I love them, but there's a
Thank you.
story behind it. There's
Yeah,
something that's made you go, No, I'm doing
because
something."
I just thought if there's something within my story that somebody can see or take away and go, oh, hang on a minute, I might have that, I might have seen that, and it gets them to check themselves or go and to the doctors and advocate for themselves a little bit more than what I initially did, and that saves them a worse, I say a worse, yeah, a worse category or staging, but it gets their signs and symptoms seen earlier. Then if whatever I can do and it helps save somebody,
Mm,
then I'm happy with that. If it gets somebody to check, I know a couple of people who have put their fit tests off, and after what I've been through, they're like, "Oh, I'll do mine now."
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think I did right at the beginning. One of my earlier podcast episodes was one on trusting your gut. So I
Yeah,
think that is, like how to navigate that medical pushback. Because it was at least 6 months. Like he had a lump on his pelvis, and it still took us 6 to 9 months for someone to actually go, yeah, you're not imagining it. So,
yeah.
and I think at the minute, I love that the NHS have been fantastic,
Mm.
but
I
they are,
can't fault them.
no, they're brilliant. His oncologist is up there for me. Everybody works really, really hard to keep him here.
Yeah.
But it was a long journey getting to the point of diagnosis.
Okay.
So you do have to keep going back and
It's-
making a nuisance out of yourself. Don't
Yeah.
kind of, oh, well, the doctor must be right. Well, no, if it's not going away,
Yeah. So yeah,
it's,
you've got to take that. Don't be afraid to ask for that second opinion. I think
yeah,
some people just say, "Oh, well, you're the expert. I'm going to trust you." I know
yeah,
what we all do. We all go, right, these are my signs and symptoms, type them into Google, and we know what happens. Yeah, exactly. But like me and
yeah,
my wife, we did try and, because of where I was going, like my initial one was, say, I had my only sign and symptom was blood on my pin.
mm,
Uh, Went to the doctors, he had a look, and he went, yeah, I can't feel anything. Had the finger examination. He said, I could see you wiping a little bit. I said, yeah, I got a little bit of diarrhea at the moment, but I think that's just something I've eaten. But I
right,
didn't realize at the time that that was another symptom.
yeah,
Uh, so he said, oh, here's some creams, here's some sachets. But the sachets, I'm thinking, why do I want these sachets when these sachets are to make it looser?
yeah,
So I didn't understand at the beginning why. But then 8 months later, then something happened, and all of a sudden, then I couldn't trust a fart. Every time I was farting, there was blood coming out.
oh,
There was loads, and it just went even worse. I was in work, and I'd be like, "Oh, hang on a minute, I gotta go back now and change my underwear because I've gone through all that and everything."
yeah,
So I went back, and then he said, "Because you come back now, I'm going to give you a fit test." Uh, that then showed positive. So while we're waiting for the fit test to come back, we were like Googling, right, what's a positive result on a fit test, this, that, and the other. I knew the colour of my blood was bright red, so we already worked out that was the end of the system, not the start of the system.
mm,
So we kind of working things out and filtering stuff out. Then my fit test result come back, and it was higher than what Google's high result comes back at. So Google says a high result is 400,
mm,
mine was 718.
right,
So that kind of tells you other things as well. And then it was from that, then it was, now we need to book you in for colonoscopy and scans, whatever you've got now. Basically, they're going to be coming thick and fast. So, okay, whatever. Thinking, yeah, okay, what's fast on the NHS and whatever.
mm,
So with my works, we've got Bupa cover, so we got private health insurance. So I told them everything, and basically within a 10-minute Zoom call, which yeah, still had to pay for, they basically told me, what you're telling me, you're going to be on something called the NHS pathway or gateway. And he
right,
said, we can't beat that. But he said, we can still book you an appointment for a colonoscopy if you want, but you're looking at mid-December. I went, yeah, I'll take mid-December. So this is more September time, maybe September, October time.
right,
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. But if it comes beforehand, I'll cancel. Yeah, fine. Uh, by the time, if I would have waited for for the Bupa, I'd already had my colonoscopy, my two scans, and all my results back from the MDT team
right,
before the private. So yeah, so the NHS, once they get hold of you,
yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah.
Really good.
They are just angels in plain sight, I think. Like they've worked really, really hard.
Yeah.
They're still working
They
tirelessly to
are
keep Jacob
too
here.
many people in the wrong positions who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so overworked and underpaid, but
Oh,
not
massively.
underappreciated. Not by
No,
the
yeah.
people that count, anyway. Um, but once you once you kind of got your diagnosis and you explained it to where you work, was everybody supportive? I know some people say that. I mean, I believe that compassion isn't something that you should have to earn. And I know some aren't as supportive as others. I hope yours has been supportive. Has there
Yeah,
been?
no, the people I directly work with, the colleagues on the shop floor, call them, they were fine. They were like, "Oh, Phil, we wish you all the best." Uh, Obviously, I'm still in all the WhatsApp groups. There was still a couple of messages coming from people while I was going through treatment, which was nice.
Oh, Nice.
My managers in work were whatever you need, Phil. We're here. Just take your time. Don't rush back to work. They were
Brilliant.
amazing. My works. Uh, they basically said as soon as you start chemo, you're not coming to site. This, that, and the other. So I was on the sick for about 4 weeks. Then my chemo kind of started. Yeah, because after my diagnosis, I think I went to back. Did I go back to where I had a couple of days off to get my head around it all? And then once I knew my start date, I think I went on. Yeah, I was kind of on the sick for a while, and then yeah, after my first chemo, typical me, I had an infection in my PICC line. I had a
Oh,
blood clot, so I was in hospital for 4 nights with that. Only
wow.
me, only me. But that was another story to go along with that as well, where they give you a card, and on this
Yeah,
card is basically you have any of these symptoms, ring this number,
yeah,
do not
yeah, yeah.
hesitate.
Your
Yeah,
little your
so
little
there's me.
backstage pass at A&E. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't. I had a high temperature. I thought I'll take two paracetamol. I'll be okay as long as my temperature drops a bit, which it did. But I said I'll ring him the next day. So I rang him the next day, and yeah, the nurses in Villindra, if they could have shouted at me, they would have. Right, you get in here right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, so luckily I did because I was there for the majority of the day having tests and everything else. And the last set of observations basically picked up my temperature was still slightly high. And they went, right, you're staying upstairs. And yeah, I was getting bad stomach pains at the time. And yeah, it just went from bad to worse. So yeah, so don't ignore any signs or symptoms. But I said to him, I said, I don't want to be one of these people who phone up every 5 minutes. Oh, I've got a paper cut. Oh, I've got a bit of a cough. I don't want to be one of these ones. And they basically said to me, if we think you're taking a piss, we'll tell you over the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't worry about that. He
Yeah.
said, if we think you're pulling a fast one, we'll tell you to piss off.
Yeah. But the important
But
thing is
thing
you called
is,
us. Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
call
yeah.
this number. I said, fine, I know now. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, no. So our problem was so Jacob lives during the week with his dad in Birmingham, where I'm originally from. But I live down in Oxford, nearabouts. So when he's with me, if he was having chemo and he'd finished and we were in that window where we had to keep an eye on his temperature, the John Radcliffe would have to be warned that he was here with me because if I needed to call, there's no use in me calling Birmingham because they'll say come
Yeah,
in and I'll be like, well, it's going to be an hour and a half because
yeah.
I'm going to have to I'm not driving in. So and it was just almost navigating. He only had a couple of rounds of chemo. It was more of a tick box. So yes, we've
Oh,
tried
okay.
chemo. No, it hasn't worked. Yes, the leg's got to go. So we only had a few. We had a few with the Red Devil, but within 10 days, he would always get a spike. We would always be in every
Okay.
few weeks because it would either be chemo or the temperature. But do you know what? He hasn't had chemo in about 3 years, and I've still got that little backstage pass. I've still got it in the cupboard. I don't need it. I don't know
No,
why I
no,
need it.
silly
Just
things
keep
you
an
hold
eye
on
out. And I
to.
was like, what for? But what
Uh,
did me was when you have the pick line in
oh.
the chat that they have to give you afterwards, it's like a university lecture where it's like, don't get it wet and you need to keep it up and don't do this and don't do that. If this happens, here are the scissors. If happens, here's the gauze. And you're like,
But
what?
if you do want a shower, here's a sexy sleeve to put
Here's a
on.
bag. Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, it was. So by the time they took the leg and they had to start talking us through that, we were pros. We were like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah,
I've been through
fine, yeah.
this. Yeah, yeah. Us being us, by the time he was discharged, he was using the monkey bars and we were spinning him round like a disco ball. I've got him like discharge day. he's, he's suspended above the bed because that's just who we are. Um, but what kind of role have your family played in in your journey? I know
Oh,
we've
they've,
tried to be a rock for him, but it's the other way around.
yeah, I don't know. My wife always keeps saying I'm a drama queen. I over exaggerate things. I don't think I do. Well, I don't think I do all the time anyway. but yeah, no, my wife, she's been my rock throughout. Her family, my family, basically anything I need, they just like just let us know. We can drop stuff round. Our neighbours next door and next door but one, and some also on the estate where I live. They're basically like, if you need anything, you know where we are. So yeah, the so the support has been really good, to be fair. So I haven't felt like I've been on my own. Yeah, it's been no, it has been really, really good, to be fair.
Oh, that's nice. Ours is the other way around. So like try and we tried to support Jacob. We do support Jacob. The only problem with Jacob is um he doesn't tell anybody. He doesn't offload. He will deal with it himself.
Yeah.
He won't. You'll know whether he's keeping something to himself, but his trigger is if you ask him, "Are you okay?" That's his trigger. You're all right. Yes. All right. Okay. Okay then. Okay then. Because he just gets on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite easy for us to hold it together because he holds it together. But I think his fear is that I'm going to ask him if he's okay. He's going to say no, and I'm going to turn into this big blubbering mess that strokes his face like it's his last day on the planet. And it's just like
Yeah.
it's not a Disney movie. Like
No,
we'll be all
definitely.
right. Yeah, no. So
No, one thing I have learned is don't hold things in. If something is
yeah,
wrong, talk to somebody about it. It doesn't matter what. Sometimes it's just good to offload. Somebody just there to listen and not talk back. I've started kind of doing that in work as well with some of the boys in work. And it's like we are the worst. Men are the worst at talking, sharing stuff. Because I think it's built into us. Like, oh look, he's telling us this thing. We can have a laugh about this now. And it's that whole thing. But it is good to talk. I bought one of those hoodies. Dear the person in front of me,
yeah, yeah.
because
Where's
I
it
want to try
brilliant?
and share that message. They're wicked.
Yeah,
And I wore it in work one day, and somebody came up to me and went, "I really like that hoodie,"
yeah.
because I think people in work, there are people all around us who are struggling, but I don't think they'll ever come up to you and go, "Right, I've got problems. This is happening. That's happening." They won't offload. Whereas I think women, they've got this network and they know when something's wrong. You all talk between each other.
I can let you
That's what
into a
I find
secret.
more.
Yeah, no, I'll let you
Yeah.
into a bit of a secret. Right, okay. So I have learned over the years to read body language. So, like during I say I'm a teacher, I'm a supply teacher. Um, so I've learned the body language of the students that I support. So anybody I interact with regularly, I'll know what their baseline. So when you're on autopilot, I know what your body language is. And then when you're doing something that's like, so you're elevated or it's more, I'll know. And the kids at school, same as my kids, know that when I say, "Are you okay?" I'm not expecting a response from you. I'm just letting you know that I've noticed something. I mean, it's typical. I've got Spider-Man in the background. It's the same sort of thing. His spidey sense, where he doesn't quite know, his brain hasn't caught up, but he's spotted something. That's what we do.
Yeah.
As women, we know body language, and we know that if you're kind of sitting with your shoulders hunched and your eyes are kind of down, we know something's happening. So we'll ask you, but that's the point of what I'm trying to do. I want to get discussing cancer into the same level as making it okay to talk about mental health, regardless of who you are or where you come from or what gender you are, whether you identify as a gender at all. It doesn't matter. If you're human
No,
and you've been
definitely.
through it, it's valid. And, the more we talk about it, the more we learn from each other. And the next time someone will be able to go, "Oh, you don't look yourself today." Well, no, I'm not actually feeling myself. And that's all it takes for that conversation to start. But I get where you're coming from. He's 15 and he just keeps it all bottled. He
Yeah.
feels like he's protecting people. And he's not, it's just eating away.
Yeah. So yes. it's a shame, isn't it? It's like you just got to understand. I suppose it's hard being a kid himself. I suppose it's like who does he talk to? Like he obviously doesn't want to put on to his parents.
He's got an older sister, so like she's nearly 18 now, and we were discussing this weekend just gone, like he seeks her out and he will talk to her about it. I know
Oh, good.
that if there's anything like I where I need to step in, she'll tell me. Other than
She'll
that,
tell you.
yeah, they're quite
Oh, good.
close.
I'm glad he's got that.
He's
That's
got
good. Really good.
someone. I don't
Yeah.
like putting it on my 17-year-old
No.
daughter, but she's like me. She's like, you don't need to worry, I've got it. You don't
Yeah.
need to worry,
Oh, good.
you
Oh,
know.
fantastic.
But he's got her as much as she's got him because they're my older two. They're both from my previous marriage. So they've always had to have each other's backs, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, support and talking, I think, is vital on a cancer journey. Um,
definitely.
but if for anybody out there that may be watching it, once we put it out there, if you were to give anybody a message, whether that's someone right at the beginning, someone who doesn't know they're starting the journey, what would you, if you could say one thing about the cancer journey, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's
Yeah.
a big
Wow.
question.
It is a big question. It's easy to say don't be scared. I can't really say that one. Yes, it's a scary thing. You're stronger than what you think you are, definitely. Don't be afraid to ask questions throughout.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't be
yeah,
afraid of the fear. The
yeah,
fear
don't
will
be
come,
afraid
but
of it.
don't be
Yeah,
afraid of it. Yeah.
yeah.
It won't
It's
destroy
gonna be
you.
scary, but you're gonna get through it. You will get
Yeah.
through it.
It's
And
like
if
no one's
something
died
is
of
going,
embarrassment.
yeah,
Yeah, no
and
one's died of
if
fear.
something's not feeling right, say something about it sooner rather than later. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I've been on the wards having chemo, and somebody's like said, I don't think something's going right, or they haven't said anything. Next, you know, the curtains have gone round. They've left it too long, and yeah, they've had a bad reaction to the treatment. But they do check on you all the time. You're
Mm.
not left to it. Uh, the only time you are left on chemo on your own is if they ever send you home with a pump, which I was with my treatment for 2 days, which basically becomes your friend 'cause you basically live with it for 2 days, sleep with it, drink with it, and whatever. But yeah, I was expecting when they said, "Oh, you go home with a pump for 2 days," one of the machines on the stand with a
Yeah.
pump thing going do 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 do.
Oh my God. Sorry,
No,
flashbacks.
no, no. Well,
The alarm at 3 o'clock in the
I got
morning.
so used to them. I knew how to pause them, mute them, stop them, and restart them again. I got so used to using them. Uh, but yeah, it was like a little flask thing in a little container with like an inflatable balloon inside. So anyway, I can describe it.
Yeah.
And it basically slowly deflated over the 2 days. And after 2 days, I went back and they disconnected me. So yeah, it
Okay.
was tiny. It was a tiny little thing.
Well, so just you give me flashbacks then. Walking round a hospital bed.
Oh.
It's the reason why I've got, you know what, best piece of advice that I never give anybody going through chemo is I had a Bluetooth, I've got a pet an eye mask that's got Bluetooth headphones in it. And even then I still managed to learn when the alarm was going off to kind of lift it a little bit, sleepwalk round the bed, press mute, walk back, sleep. Just like,
Yeah,
um, but thank you so much for coming on
no
and
problem.
sharing. I will continue to repost your posts. I think
No, thank you.
no, I think they're important. I'm here trying to shake one-legged stigma. I'm more than happy to try and remove stigma in cancer in general. It needs going, and advocates from like people that are still going through it. People like yourself, I'll do it. That's
Yeah,
that's my thing. Platforms supporting other platforms. That's not the
yeah,
big ones, the little ones that are just trying to be a beacon of light in a really dark place. They don't do it because
yeah.
it makes money. They don't do it because it's going to
No,
make them famous. They do it because somebody else is going to see that light and it's going to help them
yeah,
move forward in some way. So
definitely. Yeah,
yeah. But I
Oh,
will,
thank you.
no, but no, thank you for coming on.